In October 2018, just 5 months after the royal wedding at St. George's Chapel, Windsor, the palace announced a pregnancy. The world cheered. But behind palace walls, strict royal succession laws and security rules quietly activated, rules that few people understand and even fewer question. Then reports claimed that a private DNA review was discussed. Was this a routine royal protocol, or the start of something far bigger? That open question about routine protocol still hangs in the air. Now we return to the exact moment the news first broke. On October 15, 2018, Kensington Palace officially confirmed that Meghan Markle was expecting a baby with Prince Harry. The announcement came only 5 months after their May 19, 2018 wedding in Windsor. Crowds celebrated. News channels across the UK and US ran the story for hours. A new royal baby meant a new place in the line of succession. That line decides who may one day become monarch, based on old laws like the Act of Settlement from 1701. Think about this. A royal pregnancy is not just family joy. It is also legal paperwork, medical records, and formal notices signed by palace doctors. Every detail must be correct, because one small mistake could create years of questions later. So when some insiders later reported that extra verification steps were quietly discussed, people began to wonder. Was this normal royal caution, or something unusual hidden behind the celebration? Because one quiet discussion inside the palace would soon spark whispers no one expected. Those whispers about a quiet internal discussion now lead us to the rulebook itself. To understand the rumors, we must first understand the laws that guard royal births. The British monarchy follows very old legal rules. One key rule comes from the Act of Settlement of 1701. This law set who can inherit the throne. Succession means the order of who becomes king or queen. Later, the Succession to the Crown Act 2013 updated some parts, but the core idea stayed the same. Every royal heir must be clearly recorded and legally accepted. Here's the part most people miss. A royal baby is not only a family event. It is also a legal event. Doctors, palace officials, and advisors must document the birth carefully. In earlier centuries, government witnesses even stood in the room during royal births to prevent false claims. That rule ended in the 20th century, but strict paperwork still remains today. The royal household, working with institutions like Kensington Palace and senior medical teams, prepares official notices. These notices confirm dates, times, and the health of the mother and child. The process is meant to remove doubt, not create it. Still, some commentators later reported that extra internal checks were quietly discussed during the 2018 pregnancy. No public document confirms this. Yet once such claims appear, even without proof, they travel fast through media and online forums. If the rules were always clear and firm, why did privacy choices begin to raise new questions among observers? Because the next decision would shift media attention from celebration to investigation. That promised shift from celebration to investigation soon became real. The mood changed as 2019 began. Joyful headlines slowly turned into questions and doubts. By early 2019, several British tabloids, newspapers that focus on dramatic stories, were running daily coverage about the pregnancy. Some articles discussed timelines. Others talked about privacy choices. Most did not give proof. They used soft words like sources claimed or insiders reported. This kind of reporting is called speculation, which means guessing without proof. Buckingham Palace answered many questions with the same short reply, no comment. Silence is a long-standing royal rule. It protects dignity and avoids adding fuel to rumors. But silence can also create space for louder voices outside the palace walls. Now watch what happens next. Social media users began comparing public photos, event dates, and official statements. They counted months. They checked appearances. Most of these posts were personal theories, not verified facts. Yet the speed of online sharing made those theories look bigger than they really were. During 2019, opinion polls in the UK showed that public views about different royal figures were slowly shifting. Media coverage was no longer just about a happy baby. It was about trust, transparency, and tradition. At the same time, no official palace document confirmed any DNA review. The idea appeared mainly in opinion pieces and online forums. Still, the phrase DNA test began to trend. Here's a key question inside this storm. Who first linked the idea of DNA testing to this royal pregnancy, and why did that single phrase spread so fast? Because behind the cameras, family tensions were reportedly rising. Those rising tensions, reported in the media, now move the story from headlines to private palace life. The focus shifts from public rumors to internal changes that were officially announced. In 2019, a major structural change took place inside the royal system. The joint household office that had supported both brothers began to split. Prince William and Prince Harry would operate from different administrative teams. The palace presented this move as practical and routine. Royal households often reorganize as families grow and roles change. But media outlets reported that the split reflected deeper strain. Some articles claimed disagreements about press strategy. Others alleged differences about tradition and modern public image. None of these claims were fully confirmed by official palace statements. Still, when two senior royal offices separate in the same year as intense media scrutiny, observers naturally connect the dots. Think about this. Staff reshuffles, new advisors, and different communication teams can quietly change how sensitive issues are handled. If any legal or verification question had ever been discussed internally, it would likely stay within private legal counsel and not reach public records. The monarchy works through confidential processes, especially on matters touching succession law and family legitimacy. Yet speculation kept growing online. Some commentators linked the 2019 restructuring directly to the pregnancy timeline, even though no official proof connected the two. Perception, once formed, becomes powerful. Did this administrative separation simply reflect normal royal evolution, or was it seen as a sign of deeper concerns inside the family? Because soon, a dramatic move would take the story beyond palace walls. That dramatic move beyond palace walls finally came in early 2020. What had been quiet tension now became a global turning point that no one could ignore. On January 8, 2020, Prince Harry and Meghan announced they would step back as senior working royals. The short statement shocked the world. Within days, senior family meetings took place at Sandringham to decide the future structure. These talks, often called the Sandringham Summit, included senior members of the royal family and key advisors. After the decision, public funding arrangements changed, and the couple no longer used their HRH titles for official duties. Here's the part most people miss. Once they stepped outside the core royal system, many formal internal protocols, rules used inside palace operations, worked differently. This shift also changed how media stories were framed. Coverage moved from palace protocol to personal narrative. In simple words, the focus moved from royal rules to personal choices. Some commentators later claimed that unresolved tensions from 2018 and 2019 helped push the exit. There is no official document confirming that the pregnancy controversy caused the decision. Yet after major interviews and documentaries aired in 2021, public debate grew even louder. People asked whether earlier rumors had ever truly been settled, or if silence had allowed them to survive. In public trust surveys during 2020 and 2021, opinions about the royal family showed noticeable change. Support remained strong overall, but divisions in perception became clearer. Trust became the key issue: trust in media, trust in family unity, and trust in long-standing institutions. If stepping back was meant to quiet speculation, why did rumors about DNA and legitimacy continue to circulate even after the couple moved abroad? Because one principle matters most in a monarchy: legitimacy. That word, legitimacy, now sits at the center of everything. It sounds big, but it has a simple meaning. Legitimacy means a child is legally accepted as part of the royal line. Here is the key point first. There is no official public record confirming that Prince William ordered any DNA test. This claim has mainly appeared in media commentary, opinion blogs, and online discussions. In news language, that makes it reported or alleged, not confirmed fact. Understanding this difference is very important. Under British succession law, legitimacy is defined by birth within a lawful marriage. That rule comes from long-standing constitutional practice and older laws like the Act of Settlement 1701. A constitutional monarchy means the monarch follows laws set by Parliament. DNA testing is not listed as a required public step for royal succession. Instead, tradition relies on medical documentation and official palace notices signed by doctors. These records confirm the date, place, and safe birth of the child. Now pause for a moment. Think about how many royal births have happened in modern times without public DNA tests. The system works on trust in official doctors and legal documents. That trust is what holds the line of succession steady. If every rumor forced a new test, the monarchy would face endless legal chaos. Here's what many forget. In modern courts around the world, DNA testing is common in disputes about parentage. Courts use it when there is a direct legal challenge filed. But no such public legal challenge regarding this royal birth has been recorded. Without a legal dispute, there is usually no formal reason to demand a DNA test under British constitutional practice. Still, the rumor continued to live online.
Why?
Because mystery attracts attention. Silence from official institutions, even when normal, can look suspicious to outside observers. When people do not get full answers, they sometimes fill the gaps with their own theories. Social media then spreads those theories quickly, making them feel bigger than the original facts. Let's break this down in very simple terms. One side points to tradition and law, official doctors, legal marriage, and palace notices. The other side points to public doubt and asks for modern proof like DNA. Both sides talk about certainty, but they use different kinds of proof. One trusts legal tradition. The other trusts scientific testing. So the real question may not be about biology at all. It may be about trust. Do people trust long-standing royal systems, or do they now expect the same level of proof used in everyday legal battles? This shift in expectation is a modern change, not a historic royal rule. Another detail matters. Once rumors enter public debate, they rarely disappear fully. Even when unconfirmed, they remain as background noise. Over time, the conversation stops being about a single event and becomes about the credibility of the institution itself. In this case, the monarchy's credibility faced a test in the court of public opinion, not in a court of law. So we return to the core open question. Did media pressure and online speculation create a controversy that never legally existed? Or did they reveal a deeper gap between royal tradition and modern public expectations? The answer may say more about modern media than about the monarchy itself. The debate over legitimacy and DNA now brings us to the larger picture. What does all of this tell us about modern royalty, public perception, and trust? Royal history is filled with rumors. From the 17th century to today, questions about heirs have surfaced whenever secrecy meets power. Sometimes, these stories were true. Other times, they were exaggerated or completely false. In the 21st century, with digital media and social networks, rumors spread faster than ever before. Here's the part most people miss. Modern constitutional monarchy in Britain operates under Parliament. The laws about succession are clear and long-standing. Historical examples show that even when rumors swirled, legal frameworks protected the line of succession. That means most claims about hidden DNA tests never needed to exist to confirm legitimacy. Think about this. Even after interviews and documentaries in 2021, when speculation flared again, no official evidence appeared to support the idea that DNA testing was ordered. Yet the conversation remained lively online. People debated what was real versus what was rumor, showing how much perception matters in the modern era. Reportedly, public trust surveys taken after the media coverage showed a shift in perception. People questioned privacy, transparency, and the balance between tradition and modern expectations. The controversy was less about medical proof and more about belief in institutions. So what does this story really teach us? It shows that in today's world, public attention can test even the oldest institutions. Trust, transparency, and perception can matter as much as laws and tradition. Rumors, whether verified or not, shape narratives and influence reputations for years. Because in the end, the strongest institutions are tested not by proof, but by perception. Looking back at the story, the 2018 pregnancy announcement, the media speculation, and the reported discussions about DNA testing created a chain of events that revealed more about public perception than about the monarchy itself. Official records confirm the pregnancy and adherence to legal protocols. However, unverified claims about DNA tests spread quickly, amplified by media, social media, and public curiosity. The key lesson: silence, tradition, and privacy often clash with modern expectations for transparency. Understanding this gap helps explain why the story remained so persistent. From law to media to family dynamics, the events show that royal institutions operate in complex ways that few outsiders fully see. Misunderstandings are inevitable when tradition meets modern scrutiny. Yet the monarchy continues, guided by rules, customs, and a careful balance between secrecy and public trust. Do you think strict royal rules protect the monarchy or create more mystery? Should public figures share more medical details or keep full privacy? Did media coverage help uncover truth or fuel speculation? Subscribe for clear, fact-based royal investigations without the noise.